Steve Farhood for the Boxing Channel, along with Michael Woods from thesweetscience.com. We're here to talk about 2012, some of the controversies and some of the sensational things that we saw in the ring. Welcome, Michael.
Welcome, and thanks for having me, as always.
As always. First thing I'd like to talk about, you talk about controversies, scoring. We had Pacquiao Cloud. We had Abril Rios. We had, maybe most famously, Pacquiao and Bradley. My first question to you, Woodsy, these controversial decisions, some people think bad decisions, unusual for 2012, or is this just something that happens every year?
Ineptitude is always with us, sir. You could say ineptitude, or it's so subjective. C.J. Ross, Jerry Roth, and Dwayne Ford saw the Bradley-Pacquiao fight a different way. A lot of people, most people, all right, 99% of people thought Pacquiao won, but they said it's Bradley. So what do? We call for investigation, and then we move on, and then maybe down the line we'll do a rematch.
Well put. At least those judges in Vegas for the Pacquiao fight were veteran judges. The problem with Cloud Campillo that bothered me a lot, those Texas judges in that fight had never worked a world championship fight before. So one of the ways we can try to help the problems we have in scoring is to at least use officials who are experienced, maybe a little bit of a merit system. You know, the referee in the Super Bowl got good grades during the year. That's why he's working in the Super Bowl.
Listen, you have some good ideas. Let's bring that to the boxing czar. Oh, wait, we don't have a boxing czar. Maybe you should be the boxing czar and we'll bring some good ideas and clean up the fight game a little bit.
Well, the next subject that certainly is critical in boxing, PEDs, performance-enhancing drugs. We had Lamont Peterson test positive. We had Berto. We had Antonio Tarver. It's a long list.
Eric Morales, too.
Eric Morales. How big a problem is this? How widespread do you think the use of PEDs among the best fighters in the world is?
One fighter of note was telling me recently that he thinks 90% of fighters are using some form of stuff. As of now, it's almost accepted by many fans as just that's the playing field that everyone is on. So we're making it up, we're figuring it out as we go along, and right now it's a painful period.
No doubt about it. It seems like, of course, the cheaters are always ahead of the testers. But the difference between Mark McGuire hitting a baseball over the fence an extra 20 feet and me hitting you is that I can kill you in a boxing match. And if I have more energy at the end of a fight because I was able to train harder because of PEDs or I'm stronger, well, that's a pretty serious consequence of that use. So I think boxing has to look at this as its #1 problem right now. And now, speaking of controversies, the last one I want to deal with, for the third year in a row, we have not made the biggest fight in boxing. Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. Somehow it's still out there, but it's getting kind of tiring. You think people are forgetting about the possibility of this matchup, Woodsy?
Last year we thought it would bring $200 million to the table. Now it's probably $180 million next year if we don't make it by the springtime. Still not bad, but then it'll be down to $150 million. And then suppose someone gets beat. Interest is dwindling month by month by month. Is it going to happen next year? I've almost forgotten about babbling about it because it just seems like we're spinning our wheels now.
Yeah, I agree. And at this point, my personal take on it is that you have to blame the fighters. You know, you can blame the promoters, you can blame the managers, you can blame the TV networks, whoever you want to blame. But ultimately, it has to come down to the fighters because they control their own fate. And if they tell their people, I want this fight, no other fight, it'll get made. It hasn't gotten made. The fact that it's still sort of alive as we enter 2013 is a miracle in itself. But I never remember a time, Woodsy, in boxing history where a fight could be made for this kind of money that wasn't made. And I think it's kind of sad, and the losers are boxing fans.
Absolutely. Boxing fans are kind of used to being losers, right? We don't get a lot of the things that we should get, so it's almost like they're resigned to it. I feel like if I'm on Twitter and asking about it, people say, Woodsy, it's not going to happen. Let's move on. Well,
unfortunately, we will be moving on into 2013. So for Michael Woods from thesweetscience.com, this is Steve Farhood for the Boxing Channel. Those are some of the controversies and sensational moments of 2012.